back to Fred in the Shed. A bit of a different one, this one. I was searching the internet the other day and this story popped up way back from 2017. And it caught my interest. It's about a guy, a pensioner named Ken Overton, who's 68, from Portishead. And he was told to remove a giant CB antenna from his house. And I thought, well, I wonder what he's put up. Was it a massive Yagi beam or something? It must have been pretty big to get them to force him to remove it down. So I did a little bit more digging into the story, and it was nothing like that. I was quite surprised. And in a way, this kind of annoyed me a little bit and made me feel a bit sad for this guy Ken, because he suffers from mobility and anxiety issues, and he decided to put up a CB antenna because it was cheaper than his mobile phone and he couldn't afford a landline, and he just wanted to make new friends to stop himself getting lonely in the evenings. And I can really relate to this because I spoke to a lot of people that live on their own during the COVID lockdowns here in the UK, and they said that, yeah, coming on the radio and speaking to another human being, it just stopped them feeling isolated and trapped in their own homes. And what a great thing CB radio was. But it appears that Ken's neighbours, they didn't agree with this. And they ended up reporting him to Alliance Homes, which owns his flat, and they claimed that his CB radio was interfering with their TV and broadband. Now, let me know what you think, but I find that very hard to believe because looking at these pictures, you can see Ken's silver rod antenna. It's nowhere near any TV antennas. And I just can't see how a 4-watt radio on 27 megs is going to interfere with any broadband signal. And to me, this just looks like a typical bloody case of nosy neighbours that may have had TV issues before, might have had their broadband signal dropping out like it does for most people, and they look out and they see that someone's put up a CB antenna, and of course, it has to be the person on the radio that's causing every interference problem. And I do think this can happen absolutely anywhere you live. Portishead, looking on the internet, yeah, looks a really sound place. It's got a really nice looking harbour, looks a decent place to live, but unfortunately you put up an antenna, people straight away, for some reason, just focus on it. I mean, people have been putting up satellite dishes on their houses for decades now, and I think they're bloody ugly, but no one seems to bother. But no, an antenna goes up, and yeah, it has to be that person's fault. Okay, ran over. Now, this is where the story ends for me, because I did do some internet searching. This was 5 years ago, and Ken's story did make the Daily Mail newspaper here in the UK, but I couldn't find any follow-ups. So I imagine, even though Ken always said that doing his own testing, that his CB radio didn't interfere with TV signals, I don't see anywhere where Ofcom got involved, where there could have been some professional testing, and I'd imagine that Alliance Homes forced him to take down his antenna, and that's such a shame. If on the off chance you may have spoken to Ken on the radio, perhaps you know Ken, that's brilliant. Please leave a comment. I'd love to know how this story ends. Maybe yourselves, maybe you've had a similar situation. I know I've spoken to people and you have. You put an antenna up and straight away some officious neighbours got involved with the council and made you take it down before you really even got started. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I don't think he could have been causing any interference on broadband. I doubt very much on TV. But let me know what you think. I'd be interested to read it in the comments. So that's it for now on this one. A little bit different from what you normally get from Fred in the Shed. But please look after yourselves. Stay safe. And I'll catch you on the next one, guys. See you later.